Hello, and welcome to episode 6 of Books and Stuff. As you can probably see, I've gotten the new webcam. So the video looks significantly better to me anyway. I think it's a huge improvement. I'm still fiddling with it a little bit. It doesn't have quite the control of the amount of preferences that I would like it to, at least not at a first glance. I might have to do a little bit more fiddling with it to really set it up the way I'd like it, but it is a big step up from what I was using. And so that's the whole new setup. I've got the mic and I've got the cam. Those are all the big things that I've been waiting for here. And now I can continue to record from my dorm room in peace. Although I do hope that I can kind of change my background a little bit at some point, since the door and the closet and my shelf of goodies up here, the fencing helmet and all that, it's a little cluttered, and maybe if I hung a sheet up or something behind me, that would clear things up a little bit. But we'll see as things progress. Let's move on to the Walker realm. I'm in the process of trying to figure out just what I want to do with these video blogs on the realm. There's a little subpage with a link on that horizontal toolbar at the top to the vlogs page that has them all. All of them are embedded in there, with the most recent one at the top. It's working okay for right now. I don't know if that's really the setup I'd like to keep it at, but for now, I guess it's okay. I don't really know what else to do with them other than just linking straight to YouTube. But there's part of me just isn't a huge fan of the way that that's set up right now. So you may see some changes to that in the future as I fiddle around with it. This has been one crazy week. I really didn't know if I was going to have time to do this video. It looked like I was going to just have to wait until next week to do the next one, but I managed to catch up with almost everything. Just got one last thing to do for today that I've got plenty of time for, and then I'll be good to take a bit of a break on Saturday and then jump right back into it again, because next week, at least the beginning of it's going to be just about as busy as well. So we'll see. Hopefully that all works out splendidly. But until then, I'll be working quite hard. I want to take a brief moment right now to give a little shout out to my very first commenter, the first person to comment on any of my YouTube, on any of the episodes, and it just happened to be on the last one, episode 5. And so I'm going to give a shout out to you, and I'm going to try and get this name right, but it's what I believe is an L, SVL012393. Thank you very, very much for your comment and your ideas. I have answered you a little bit, and please continue to do that. That's what those comments are for. So I am going to jump to the review now, because I have finally finished A Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. Here it is. Whoop, let's turn it the right way. Big book, 500 pages long, and then some. And I just final reaction. It was good. Quite good. I did walk away from it feeling mildly confused It it didn't seem to do it didn't seem to do the best job it could at identifying what its purpose was. It was an interesting read and good, but as I said in the last one, you spend a significant amount of time at the beginning wondering what this story is going to be about, and you spend most of the middle going, I've got it. This makes sense now. All right, just was a little slow in the beginning. This is perfect. I know exactly what's going to happen now. And then it all just turns on its head, and you're back to where you were in the beginning. I mean, I understand why everything turned out the way that it did, but it doesn't feel quite right. But it was still a good read. When I first started reading it, I figured I was going to be comparing this to the Harry Potter books, even though I really didn't want to. But there's no way you can. I mean, you can't even try to compare this book and that series. There's no way. This is vastly different. I mean, Rowling touches on everything from underage sex to depression, suicide, affairs, marriage affairs. It's chock full of stuff you never ever saw in Harry Potter, and I think it was interesting to see from Rowling. It's not something we'd ever seen before, but it was a good first attempt at a brand new genre for her, and she did a pretty good job with only those little nuances to worry about. So I recommend it, as long as you know that this is not at all, even in the slightest little bit, a children's book. So please do not give this to your 11-year-old daughter or son or nephew or niece or grandson, because they don't need to be reading this, not until they're quite a bit older and quite a bit more mature. But for those young adults, older young adults and adults, this is a good read, a good book. So that's what I have for this. I think I'm going to try and do a little write-up for the Realm at some point if I can find any bloody time. But until then, this will have to suffice. So I hope that has answered any questions that anybody's had about that. And I suppose that we can move on to a question, which, if you give me just a second. All right, here it is. Here's a little one that I've given quite a bit of thought to in the past, and I really don't think I've covered it yet. I could be very, very wrong, and I'm actually going to spend a quick second checking to make sure that this isn't one I've already answered, because that wouldn't be any fun for anybody if I'd already done it. So this will not take long at all. If you give me just 1 second, I'll pull it up. And let's see, it's not in the first one. Okay, let's see if it's in the second one. Oh, I screwed that one up. It's not in the second one. That was me noticing a little error I had in formatting. But no issue with. Okay, good. I haven't done it yet. All right. So the question is, do you read fantasy or anything else to escape your life, or do you read it to enrich your life? And I believe what they're kind of going for is like escapism or adventurism. The differences between those two different reading styles. And I am an escapist. When I sit down to read a book, I like to put myself in there and spend a bit of time away from the hectic sucky-ish parts of this life, this real life. I use books to enhance blissful moments, to get a bit of a break from the doldrums of life, as it were. That's how I've read for many, many, many years. I don't like to use the word escape from reality because it sounds a little crazy. And oh look, it's my roommate. Stuart, say hi to everybody on YouTube.
Hi everybody. Hey look, it's the YouTube.
Yes, it's the YouTube. That's Stuart. I've talked about him once or twice. What was I talking about? He's a funny character. I don't know if you guys could hear anything he said. Probably not, but geez, I really don't have a clue what I was talking about. I apologize. I know the general topic. I mean, I was answering the question, but wherever that train of thought was, it's gone. So, goodness. Okay, we're done with this. I read to escape. That's what I do. Question answered. So, quote time. This is the funny one I was looking for yesterday. I picked up the book and was rifling through it for a while before I found it, but and this is going to be a somewhat longer quote, just because it needs a little build up for the humor to present itself. There we go. Can't think at all. So again, this is from Patrick Rothfuss in his second book, Wise Man's Fear. My copy is signed, by the way. Hang on. Whoops. See that? To Kenneth, spelled wrong. Patrick Rothfuss. Those of you asking why it's spelled wrong, it's because I sent a friend in my place because I couldn't make it. And I plan on getting that fixed at some point. But until then. So, basically, the main character, Kavath, is in a class, and the teacher is attempting to explain that you can't explain anything very well. Everything is simply a translation. So, teacher says, and I'll be skipping a lot of directionality. I'll hit all the important dialogue, but just so we all know that. Fine. We'll use feel as example of love. Here we have two lovely young people. Their eyes meet across the room. He says hello. She says hello. She smiles. He shifts uneasily from foot to foot. There's something ethereal in the air. She loves the lines of him. She is curious about the shape of his mouth. She wonders if this could be the one, if she could unclasp the secret pieces of her heart to him. Kavath looks at her, and for the first time he understands the impulses that first drove men to paint, to sculpt, to sing. There exists between them something tenuous and delicate. They can both feel it, like static in the air, faint as frost. Now, what do? There are three paths here. First, our young lovers can try to express what they feel. They can try to play the half-hearted song their hearts are singing. This is the path of the honest fool, and it will go badly. This thing between you is too tremulous for talk. It is a spark so faint that even the most careful breath might snuff it out. Even if you are clever and have a way with words, you are doomed in this, because while your mouths might speak the same language, your hearts do not. This is an issue of translation. The second path is more careful. You talk of small things, the weather, a familiar play. You spend time in company. You hold hands. In doing so, you slowly learn the secret meanings of each other's words. This way, when the time comes, you can speak with subtle meaning underneath your words, so that there is understanding on both sides. Then there is the third path, the path of Kavoth. You sense something between you, something wonderful and delicate, and because you desire certainty in all things, you decide to force the issue. You take the shortest route. Simplest is best, you think. So you reach out and grab this young woman's breasts. Relir Kavoth, he said seriously, I am trying to wake your sleeping mind to the subtle language the world is whispering. I am trying to seduce you into understanding. I am trying to teach you. Quit grabbing at my tits. And that's where you all laugh. So that's just some of the wonder that, some more of the wonder that Patrick Rothfuss can weave with his words. That one, when I first read it, literally had me laughing in the middle of a classroom at the time, I believe it was. So that's all I have for this episode. Sorry about the brief interruption. Didn't mean to have my mind get all befuddled, but live and let live. That's it till next episode. See you all.